Americans, we got to get back to common sense. Being a father is a calling. Being a father, you have a fatherhood is essential. God's ordained family needs to be intact.
I'm Jack Brewer. Welcome to the Jack Brewer Show. I am here with another powerful guest, father, great athlete, and just a great servant. Someone who's had my back anytime I've ever called him, and that is the great Clinton Portis. Clinton, welcome to the show, man.
Man, Jack, appreciate you having me, man. Thank you.
Clinton, you are a perennial All-Pro. If anyone mentions any other college football team, you are quick to correct them and let them know that the Miami Hurricanes are the greatest team of all time. Am I correct?
It's definitely the greatest team of all time. It's not even a conversation, you know. A lot of people say, well, look at this team, look at that team, and it shouldn't matter what you did in the pros. But I think we peaked when we left school. Right. You know, a lot of those other schools, their kids peaked in school. They got to the league and kind of disappeared. But all of the guys that came out of the U in that era peaked.
No question.
And they got even bigger on the next level. So it's hands down. You know, it's not even a topic of conversation.
I can't say much. I played at Minnesota, so, you know, I stay out of the conversation. But I will tell you this, that during my pro career, some of my best friends and the best players on my team were guys like Jeremy Shockey in New York, were guys like Edgerrin James at the Cardinals, right? Playing with the Moss brothers. Like, these guys, everywhere they went, like you said, they made a huge impact. And even though I didn't play with you, you were like my brother too.
Man, they're my partners to this day. You know, still my partners, Tanner, Edge, you know, Shockey, Sonoris. You know, those guys are good guys. I think when you look at guys that come from out of the University of Miami, it's rare that you say, like, that guy's a prick or that guy is like a jerk or anything. Like, it's normally a good conversation that come behind it, like, man, you know what, that guy mannerable, that guy respectful, that's a good dude, like, that guy is helpful. So I think that's even bigger than the accolades that we accumulate.
No question, and it's really about the generation. I think it's a representation of the generation. Even Brian B. Mac.
Yeah.
Man, I played with B. Mac, and I didn't pay for nothing when I was with B. Mac. He'd take you anywhere with him. He treated you like family. His mama treated you like family. And it really was a different time period, man. And, you know, this show, we dive into fatherhood. We dive into criminal justice. We talk about issues that are really happening in the world. And for you, I'm excited because you're in such a unique position, man. You're now coaching in college football, and so you're really seeing the issues that so many people talk about. And you brought up something earlier, man, just about the instant gratification and how the UIL now, you're watching kids that are literally negotiating, but they're really running from any type of conflict, any type of adversity. What are you seeing now, man, in your experience?
Well, for one, like, this will be a two-part question. I think the relationship you build with the kids, having the opportunity to lead and shape these kids, to guide these kids, for a lot of us, is stuff that we've been doing, you know, without getting accolades or without getting credit for. I know you've been in the community forever. I mean, my trips to Haiti were with you to do mission work on the ground. So being involved, and I think so many people kind of forget. It's like, oh man, you finally coaching? Like, bro, I've been coaching for the last 20 years. I've been involved in coaching at some aspect. And if you ask my teammates, even when I was playing, it was like I was involved in coaching. So to have that effect on the kids, to be able to help these kids get to the next point, to see the transformation, to see them grow as men, to understand where they're trying to get to, like you've already been, like we've already experienced that, to help them dodge potholes and to help them recover from potholes, because you're going to hit them. You know, life is not perfect. You're going to run into the headaches, but you can recover. You know, just making sure a kid has hope to get to tomorrow instead of giving up today. You know, like when the good Lord call upon you to come home, he'll bring you, you know, like you don't need to make a judgment or a decision prior to that. So keeping kids in that headspace, just letting them know, man, sleep that off. You know, like sleep that off. You know, it's not about being down. It's about getting up and recovering. And then when you say the NIL space, man, I look at the NIL space so many different ways because kids are giving money at this point. Like you're paying for their talent, right. But you see so many guys that's ducking smoke from other schools or from competition that is like you're missing. A lot of teams are missing because you got guys that's running, but you don't know that they're running because they were going to lose their position at the last school. So it's like, well, let me bail while I'm on top before you see, you know, it's like me leaving the University of Miami because I know Willis McGahee and Frank Gore in the room and they're coming. You know what I mean? So it's one of those situations, man. I think the landscape is so different, but at the same time, it's so enjoyable because like I tell these kids, like, bro, I need you to this point. If you excel on this point, then I'm going to help you get to where you're trying to go. Right. I'm not one of those people like I'm selfish enough to say, let me keep you here. I'm trying to hide you and I don't want anyone to see you. Like if you can succeed or I can help you grow or us as a coaching staff can develop you to the point that it's time for you to move on to a bigger and better opportunity because you deserve it, because you're not ducking smoke, because you're willing to face competition, you're able to overachieve or come out of adversity. Like you've done that and excelled at it. So now I stamp you. Like, yeah, he should move on because he's done all he could do at this level. So with the NIL, I think it changed the landscape of college football. But I think for our coaching staff, with the guys that we have in place, so many guys that former players that's done this before, college or professional athletes, that I think it's the place you want to go. I think we're the coaching staff you want to be around because it's a like an uncut, a real talk situation. And with Coach Jackson, Deshaun Jackson, for what he's trying to bring to the table and what he's doing, man, I just think it's like an honor to have these kids. You know, it's like giving you a different energy. No doubt, no doubt. It's exciting to think about it, right? Let's look back. You have NFL greats coaching kids, NFL greats that are from a generation where boys didn't play against girls. We didn't put up with that kind of stuff. It's just a completely different element than you would normally think that you see today. And I think that's what makes it so unique in a lot of ways. Clinton, because you guys are now trendsetters because there's not a lot of places that you can go to get that type of experience, get that real talk as you mentioned. But think about it, you got the majority of the population now that know whether if they're an athlete or they're going to get a job, they're not really getting that. And so that's kind of, that element has kind of been removed from a lot of aspects of society across America. And that's really unfortunate, man. Man, I think we failed this generation, you know, just us as leaders, us as parents, us as individuals. We failed this generation because a lot of the knowledge, like, why am I just not giving this knowledge back to kids? You know, I really should have been giving this back to kids since I retired 15 years ago. Like, that's how I feel. Like, man, I wish I would have known then what I know now. And I wish we would have been having this discussion and you like, oh man, you're 15 years in coaching instead of this is your first opportunity. So so often in life, man, it's like we have regrets and we try to make up for it. And I think in dealing with kids, you know, you can miss in your own house, you can miss with your kids. And outside is like a different effect because your kids kind of see you all the time and your voice get watered down. But outside, it's like these kids don't have a voice. So whatever information you're giving them, it's stored. It's like there forever. It's like, you know, you send a text message in your phone and now all of a sudden you put I love and it pop up. Oh, I love you. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how these kids take on advice. That's how these kids take on messages now. It's kind of stored in them. And I think for us, and I would speak for my staff, the love that I see them pour in, it's kind of like we're all like, either we haven't given enough love in our household, or we might have missed on one of our kids, whatever it is, but we're pouring genuine love into the kids.
Wow, that's amazing, man. And I just, when I'm thinking, you're talking, I'm like, wow, man, it just, because I feel the same way, right? I haven't been focused on fatherhood in my 20s and 30s the way I do now. And it's really because I saw my own gaps, right? I saw society's gaps. And I knew that God had blessed me to be able to do much more than I was already doing. And so it's really that calling, man. And I think right now for us, I mean, we're in our mid-40s, and it's like, okay, we're going into a new time, but it is our time, right? It's our calling. God has called us to speak into the young athletes of tomorrow, to speak into the young kids, and to teach our young girls and our daughters how they should be respected, and really set that tone. And I think you're right. We have missed the mark in a lot of ways, but I think today is a new day. I see a lot of people now dedicating their lives, like yourself, Clinton, myself, and so many others that we know. We're all starting to pour in. And I think that's what it's gonna take, because you look, 18.4 million fatherless kids. I'll keep saying it until I'm blue in the face. The most fatherless nation on earth. And that's the reason why we see all this craziness happening in our streets, and the lack of respect for adults and for elders. Clinton, I tell the story all the time. I was a rookie free agent, Clinton. I led the nation in tackles as a defensive back. I was a rookie free agent. And when I got to camp, you think I would have let Clinton Portis carry his own helmet or pads? You didn't even have to tell me. You think when Clinton Portis pulled up in front of that plane for us to go travel, you think you wouldn't have had whatever your favorite food was when you got ready to eat it? I made that happen because I was a servant. I wanted to serve the guys. That was the generation I came in. Now these kids worrying about, look at me on social media, taking selfie pictures. The servant attitude and the humility and the respect of the elder. If you were older than me and you played and I was a rookie or a second-year guy and I had a guy 10, 12 years in the league, I would have washed your clothes, washed your car, did whatever you told me to do.
Man, yeah, I just think that's generation. Like, so many kids are me,
That's right.
as if they don't get enough attention. And these kids been getting attention for a long time. You know, like, we kind of, my attention started my senior year, you know, like all of a sudden people starting to hear me, and then I get to college and it's like I'm nobody, and I gotta convince people I'm worthy, and then I get to the NFL and I'm nobody, and I gotta convince people I'm worthy all over again.
Larry, Clinton Portis back in, 1st and 10, Redskins at their own 12. Top Collins gives it to Portis, breaks a tackle, got some running room, 25 to the 30, 35, 40, to the 50, to the 40, Clinton Portis to the 30, to the 20, inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Big run by Portis.
He's supposed to be hurt.
Longest run of his Redskins career.
What great blocking, but
Great run.
Great run. Yes, they put it all together.
78 yards.
That's what you call a 28 drive play, and the two-back carry into the 8-hole, and he just took off.
Same thing, a stretch play. They run over and over again. That time it broke.
Sellers all the way as a convoy. Couldn't get the last man, or Clinton would have scored. And that is his longest run as a Redskin since his first touch. Look at this.
Whereas these kids come in and they never forget, like, that was high school, and this is college. This is the NFL. Like, they miss those steps that you start over. You know, it's like playing a video game. When you go to the next level, you start at the beginning.
That's right.
You don't pick up from, oh, I jumped off the castle on this stage. You got to find the castle on this stage.
Right.
So,
and that they video games go forever.
Yeah,
my son playing a video game. They jump in, they never end.
Yeah, they never
That's
end.
A great point.
So it's not even like a victory in their video game. Like, we used to beat Super Mario Brothers, or we used to beat Contra, and it was a gratification, a fulfillment.
That's right.
At the end. You know, like when we were playing Madden when it first came out, or Tecmo Bowl, you playing a whole season. You don't get to pause it. When you, if anything, you press pause and turn that TV off, because your mom's saying go to sleep.
That's right.
And then you wake up the next morning and finish. But
right.
your season lasted 2 days, you know? Now
right.
these kids, like, it's like I got to build, like I need the advantage in everything I do. I want to be with the best. I'm not going to defeat the best. I'm not going to challenge the best. It's like, oh, he the best. I need to become friends with him. Like, so again, you're ducking smoke. You're ducking. You're ducking.
My son called that
competition.
glazing.
Yeah,
Is
like
that what it's called?
Yeah, they call it
Listen,
glazing.
I don't know how to slang that anymore, but they said my son said, "Dad, you're glazing. Stop glazing."
Yeah, but that's, you know, that's just kids now look at everything so different. It's like when we try to pour in, just say to see your growth, you know, to be in admiration because I've known you for a long time. So to see your growth as a man, like to have an appreciation, to still be able to pick up the phone or you still reach out to check in, to be able to say like, that's my brother, you know what I mean?
Amen.
Like before Christ, after Christ,
That's
you know,
right.
it was always God-fearing, but now that you walk a different path, the influence that's left behind, like kids don't see that. Like they don't do stuff or grow respects that's influential. They like admiration, you know, like, oh, like, you know, and it never goes past that. So just as a man, I think we miss out so much, as you were saying about the young girls, like it go from the point in life where that's all we know. We're chasing tail, as old people would say. And the guidance that we got in the community was like, hey, you're going to have a habit. It's either drugs or alcohol or women, you know, your school, work, or sports. So you're going to choose two, you know. And for me, I always thought, like, I don't do drugs. And I'm not into alcohol. Like, I might have a leisure drink or a casual
No, you never was much
drink.
of a drinker.
Yeah, like everybody would, oh man, he was a party animal. Bro, I'm the one, I've been holding this same drink.
That's right.
Like, you don't even know. Like, it just looked like I'm partying. That's just my energy, you know what I mean? But the generation is so different that we have to kind of, it's like we're bridging a gap to get them to understand what hard work really is, what teamwork really is. For us, they used to say, at least for me, it was like he's arrogant and he's selfish. Bro, it's not one teammate could ever tell you I was selfish. It's not one person who's ever encountered me can tell you I was selfish. I'm the person that's gonna set it out for everybody, make sure everybody's straight. I'm gonna be the designated driver. I'm gonna be the house you can stay at because I know you've been drinking. That was me.
Always.
But for someone who don't know me, the lie that comes out of their mouth is not corrected. So, you know, I think it's trying to teach kids to be as respectful and as corrective as possible now.
And taking on that generation, and that's what you're doing. And we talk about that. We talk about this generation. We do have issues when it comes to criminal justice, when it comes to second chances. I know you have faced that head on. You know, you're talking about I'm talking to my brother who literally, in my opinion, was the best running back of my time in the NFL. Hall of Fame ballot, right? I think you almost ran for 300 yards in a game I was watching one game. But to have your life completely disrupted like that, man, and have to face that for something, most people have done worse. I'll say that. I don't want to go into every other specific, but most of us have done worse than that. Tell us about that, man. How did you feel? How did it impact your family? And how did that motivate you to be a voice for other men and fathers that have it even worse than you had it in the criminal justice system?
Well, I think that's what put me in the position to finally accept being a voice for the next generation. Like, that started in prison, like being separated from your family, being separated from your kids, being separated from your lifestyle, being separated from your friends and loved ones, like for your mother to watch you like go to jail. You know, like, bro, I went to prison, like I don't want no visitors. I don't have I got 10 numbers that I'm taking in. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want nobody to see me in this position. Or I don't want you to ever get an image of me like with life taken away. So a second chance I always knew I was going to get because I had a date. I knew I was coming home.
Right.
But for the impact inside, like the bonds that were created inside, the appreciation, I started coaching it inside.
Wow.
You know, I had a workout
Wow.
crew
Yeah.
to get through. You know, we were 11 o'clock workout
Wow.
crew every day. So that's where the coaching started. And that's where the light clicked on, like, oh man, like I'm doing this for free anyway, you know. And then when I came home, it was like I poured myself into the kids and their activities and trying to make sure that they got the best information possible from that point on, from the day that I got out. Because when you're on papers and, you know, you got to check in and you on house arrest, you can't leave the house, you need to have an organization or a school to go to. I'm at the school all day.
Wow.
So I already had this impact with the kids. And, you know, a lot of people would have expected, put your head down like you shamed, you're embarrassed. Bro, I kept my head up high to the sky because I felt like it was a calling from God. Like it was something that I need to experience, something to slow my life down.
Wow.
Although I wasn't doing a lot, I needed to understand, like get back closer, trust God, you know what I mean? And inside, I think a lot of people like, damn, dog, you shouldn't be going through this. Man, you shouldn't have to deal with this, or you shouldn't have to, you know, you were wrongfully accused. And the same way they do inside, I'm here now.
That's right.
There's no need, innocent, guilty, like everybody in here, you know, like we're in here, so it's already done. And I just think the impact after, I wanted to make sure, I think when you sit in there and you're reading, I'm reading Tony Dungy books and, you know, I'm seeing these people and I'm trying to be influential and be encouraging to guys that still got a lot of time and, you know, these my partners and, you know, I'm eating good and it's like, oh man, they not eating the way that I eat. They don't have the access that I have. So I'm bringing it all back. I'm making sure everybody eat good. I'm making sure everybody have a good time. So for me, it was just more of in that experience, which wasn't a long experience, although a day in jail is too long.
Much, for sure.
But to have that experience, to be able to come home, to be able to be an example, like instead of ever holding my head down or being shameful, it was able to embrace, like, bro, I went to prison. Like, I really went to prison. Yeah. And people look at me like people don't know how to deal with me.
That's right.
But we go in the White House in the appreciation from people
right.
that see me or come into contact with me, and that's anywhere. When we go to Haiti, when we go wherever we are, it's an appreciation for people who really respect me or who really admire what I stand for. Yeah. So the realization is we're beating ourselves up and you're ready to move past it. Like to meet Miss Alice and understand her story. I never would have thought she did 22 years in prison. Never. But the way she spoke, the way she carried herself, the position that she's in, you never would have expected that.
That's right.
Second chance. Give it another opportunity. And I always tell people, the person that I want to give the opportunity to is the person who know what it is to not have.
That's right. Lose it all.
Right.
Not have it.
Lose it all.
That's right.
The person who don't have this gonna be more appreciative. They're gonna do more with it than the person who's never lost before.
Right.
So I'm taking my chance. I'm betting on you to come out. I know you're gonna do right.
That's right.
Only thing you need is some TLC. You know.
No, that's beautiful, man. So articulate and well put. And when you were speaking, you were reminding me of the reason I'm here. I get to go into prisons and I get to minister to men. I live with them. I have them in my houses. I'm around them. You know that. And it's like every time I go in, you know, in my mind, I used to think I'm going in to help. I'm the savior. I'm helping them out. I'm the one getting poured into. I'm the one getting made into a better man and redirected and focused, being, you know, more direct. And that's incredible, man.
Man, I tell people all the time, and you don't give people their flowers. But for you, man, just to say, like, bro, I'm so appreciative of you, because the darkest times that I had, like, people think the prison stint was like the dark. That wasn't the dark time,
That's right.
But in 2014, when I wasn't ready to accept what I was accepting or dealing with, you took me to Haiti. Like, you took me to Haiti. You invited me to Haiti a day after I found out I had just lost millions.
That's right.
And you called me not knowing what was going on and said, come to Haiti. And I come to Haiti, and you had Spikes and, the fellas. And that was a brotherhood. That was a relationship. That was, bro, I needed that more than anything that I've ever had, because it gave me a chance when we were walking through the streets. What was it called? The
City Soleil.
Yeah, City Soleil. One of the worst neighborhoods in the world.
Right.
One of the poorest neighborhoods in the world. And we're seeing kids with no clothes on, no shoes, no nothing, still water from waste, from bodily waste, houses with no lights that had candles burning, and the entrance was a sheet, not a door. And we go through here. That impacted me more in life than anything a coach has ever said, anything a woman has ever done, outside of my mom. But that impact, and it stuck with me, because it allowed me to know, like, I'm thinking materialistics, I'm thinking money. That took the value, that took the strength of money away from me. Amen. That took the strength of money away from me, because the one thing that community had was love. Amen. Like, they were all for each other, and they were so thrilled with us bringing bats and hats, and like, that changed me as a man. And then to go through this experience 5 years later, 6 years later, it only increased and says, you know what? I keep getting these opportunities. I keep getting these callings. God keeps showing me, like, come back to him. Amen. And when I took this coaching experience, it was all God. I got to that campus. I was going to talk to D-Jack about kids. Like, we have a youth organization and helping those kids get into school. And the conversation escalated to, hey man, I need you here. Like, if you want this job, it's yours. Like, we didn't talk about doing an interview. Yeah. Like, I didn't know I was interviewing for a job.
That's amazing.
But he just said, if you want this job, it's yours. Yeah. And I was like, man, I gotta think about this. Right. Like, I'm not sure I'm ready to hold up. And as we walked out of the school, I kind of looked back, and I felt needed. Amen. I felt like this is where I'm supposed to be. And God keep on, like, you put me in prison, you set me down, and I had to find the fruit of it. I had to find, like, what was this message I was supposed to learn? And I'm reading Tony Dungy books, I'm reading Coach Gibbs books, and I'm like, these men are great. Like, these men are excellent.
Amazing.
And it's eye-opening stuff that now that I'm in position and this is behind me, it's like, I want to make sure I have an impact. I want to make sure the kids I encounter or the people that I encounter, Coach Gibbs has always been a positive force in my life. That's right. And I say he's like the best human being of all time, and I don't know if I'm ever going to have that impact. I don't even care if I have that impact. But if I could do a fourth of what he's done to people, then I did my job.
Amen. Amen. So well put, man. I tell you what, Clinton, just hearing you speak, knowing you for as long as I have, I've seen you through the heights, and I've seen you through some tough situations, man. And that's why I'll always be your friend. I'll always be your brother. And anytime I think that God gives me access to something that's for you, I'm going to always call you. And I think you know that. But just to imagine being a young athlete, being able to grow up and be taught and coached by you, man, is a powerful thing, man. Thank you so much for coming, man. To everybody watching, if you don't know Clinton Portis, you got to know the real Clinton Portis a little bit today. No matter what you read or seen or heard, he was a great NFL player. Don't get me wrong, but he's even a better man, better father, and someone that I look up to greatly, man. He can overcome adversity like no one I've ever met. In Jesus' name. Thank you, Clinton.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Together, we are going to go into the golden age and change and uplift our families.
Thank you to my guest today. You can learn more about the topic on our show page, jackbrewer.tv. The Jack Brewer Show is produced by the America First Policy Institute. If you've been enjoying the Jack Brewer Show, please remember to like, rate, and share our episodes. Also, remember, give us a review so others can hear all about it. Thank you again. I'm Jack Brewer.